Welcome to Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, I think we'll keep on this one like this. This is a pretty good opening hand. We've got three mana planeswalkers. We've got Intuition, which should work out pretty nice, and we've got 3 lands. So the only thing that would make this better is if we had some fast mana, but that's like complaining about free food. That is good, not bad free food, but good free food. So let's get Nicol Bolas pop back up. Jolt, what are you talking about? I don't know either. But anyway, welcome. Hope you're excited for some Grixis super friends, or super villains, if you want to call it that. So see if our opponent actually wants to mulligan past this or not. And yeah, because they're held up. So let's just see if they resolve this, and we'll jump into commentary. Okay, there they are. Took 1 second. They heard me talking about them. Let's go and lead off with Is It Boilerworks and make it bounce back to our hand. That scared a few of you. Let's go ahead and crack Wooded Foothills. Let's grab Steam Vents. Yeah, I think that'll work out. Steam Vents coming to play tap, not going to pay 2. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. We're playing Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. Flying, whenever Nicol Bolas enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Then for a 7-mana activation, exile Nicol Bolas and return him to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. His or her owner control should be, that's kind of weird. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. Then for the plus ability, actually we'll talk about that here in just a second. All right, run into Swamp. So I'm not really sure why Is It Boilerworks is in here. I'd typically stop running the tap lands like that or the bounce lands. But if we can keep making our land drops, then we're going to try to save that for last. So anything else, we'll pass it back over to our opponent. Playing gets, actually, we will cover the backside of Nicol Bolas. +2, draw 2 cards. -3, deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. -4, put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Then for a -12, exile all but the bottom card of target player's library. And if we can get this ultimate going with the -12 with Ashiok, it's a 1-hit KO right there. It always feels pretty good. All right, so we've got some, we've got a little aggro Najeela swinging in. It's going to put us down to 27. And we're still hitting the land, so we're just going to keep making these land drops. So let's go Swamp. What's going to give us the best? I think actually the Royal Scions is going to give us the best option because we plus up. That's going to be 6. It's going to survive. Yeah, let's do that. And then we can try to Nicol Bolas for next turn. So let's go Royal Scions. Get the twins down. They're not twins, but I think they're brother and sister. Maybe they are twins because this kin. Yeah, it's what. Yeah, they kind of creep me out. Disallow Mountain. I think at this point, Ashiok is nice. But I think we can get rid of Ashiok. Yeah, that's fine. And then anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. Playing against Najeela, the Blade Blossom. Whenever a warrior attacks, you may have its controller create a 1/1 white warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. Then for a Wooburg activation, untap all attacking creatures that gain trample, lifelink, and haste until end of turn. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Activate this ability only during combat. So there we go. We did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to join the villain crew, see if you've got the planeswalking ability to make the villain crew with Nicol Bolas, head on over to MTGOTraders. We will certainly put you in the villain squad. There was somebody left a comment that was talking about like a nickname for the villain squad, and oh my goodness, the Royal Scions out there about to get hit pretty bad. But anyway, MTGOTraders. Let's take a quick little check of what's happening, and are they even? Yeah, they got 2 swinging in at us, and then that definitely 2. So we need to find a board wipe. So I guess at this point, since our opponent did it like way overextend into that, let's go for an Intuition. We're going to go and target our opponent. And what we're going to do on this is I think we can take another hit, but we're going to Intuition for some board wipes. So let's go Intuition, search your library for 3 cards. Let's get this popped out. Damnation, and then Crux of Fate. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. All right, so we're going to grab 3 of those. Let's see. Click OK. And so this is going to give us opportunity to clear up all of this aggro. We got hit pretty hard with that Reckless Bushwhacker, which is, yeah, when you get that surge cost and you're playing an aggro deck, that is pretty hard to come back from. So let's see what our opponent's going to drop in. We'll probably, since we still do have the tap land, just in case our opponent's running land destruction or something like that, we'll still probably lead off with either Reef or this one. All right, so we run into Crux of Fate, and let's lead off with Mountain. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. Also, let's give a quick shout out to ingaming.com/Jolt. That's going to apply the coupon codes. If you want to treat yourself to a playmat, head on over there. And while you're over there, search Jolt539 to see some of my cool playmat designs. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to support cool content like this, hey, much obliged if you do. There's a lot of options that you can go for. So there's a link down in the description below. Check it out. And if you're keeping score at home, it is officially free time. Let's have some fun. So we've got Crux of Fate. Let's see. Yeah, so we're going to at least be able to stop this. It's going to be a pretty good chunk of damage. It's going to put us down to 14. And our opponent hasn't hit their land drop, and they're only down to 2 cards in the hand. So I feel pretty good about this. So let's go Shivan Reef. Let's go for Crux of Fate. Destroy all non-dragon creatures. Yes, I always get worried I'm going to click the wrong thing. All right, destroy all non-dragon creatures. That clears the board out, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn back over there to our opponent. So next turn, probably going to end up going Dak Faden. We might, if we want to kind of slow roll our opponent on grabbing stuff, we could maybe end up going for Oketcher's Monument with Dak Faden. That's going to really kind of get rid of those White Warrior creature tokens that might kind of pile up. Outside of that, we don't really have much else. You know, we can try to go for Nicol Bolas next turn. That will force them to discard a card. And having a 4/4 on the battlefield, it does make a difference sometimes, at least kind of stopping. So this is going to be Thrasher Brute. Can't be countered. Okay, so we got, I love the art on that. That looks good. And there's just sometimes in Magic where you just see a card for the first time. And yeah, I don't know, I just love that. So we got a little bit of a Blood Artist effect on our opponent's side of the battlefield. That's going to be Thran Dynamo. So that's going to be 4/3 plus 1. That's going to be 5. That puts us down. Yeah, I think we just end up going Nicol Bolas. They'll force them to get rid of that last card in their hand. And I don't really think any way we sequence this we can go Thran Dynamo and Nicol Bolas, since we do have such a big color requirement. So let's go Shivan Reef. We're going to have Nicol Bolas enter the battlefield. We'll just go and bounce probably this mountain back to our hand. There we go. If we need to trade with a Thrasher Brute, we certainly can. Let's play Is It Boiler Works. Let's go ahead and bounce Mountain back to our hand, since we're way okay on red mana. And then anything else, pass it back over there. So, but yes, what are we doing Nicol Bolas? This is a Grixis control deck, and as you can tell, we've got a heavy emphasis on Planeswalkers, so kind of super villains for the deck. What we want to do is really kind of go for what we did earlier, get a Crux of Fate, kind of clear the board out, and just start getting some really nice incremental value as the game goes on. And oh my goodness. This is getting pretty good. Now, if they do end up swinging in with Thrasher Brute, we will block, but we're going to go ahead and block on that Gerblin token over there, because that Thrasher Brute's going to be very hard for us to deal with that. And then Command Tower. Okay, so let's have Command Tower come down. We do have the option for Thran Dynamo, but I'm thinking at this point, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's at least going to be 7 card draw off of Thassa's Intervention, so I'm thinking that's what we end up going for, because just the thought of going Dak Faden with Thran Dynamo doesn't really sound that fun. So, and if we end up getting Nicol Bolas to flip, we can deal 2 damage to target creature or player, but once we get Nicol Bolas to flip, it doesn't really help this board state, because then they can just really, no matter how much Nicol Bolas looks scary, if he's flipped as a Planeswalker, they can just slip right by him and attack our life total, which is what we don't want to happen. So, now our opponent did... Let's see. I didn't notice that Cavern of Souls out there, but all right, it's gonna be another trigger, and it's gonna put us down to 9. That's gonna be 1, 2. We might be able to survive if we hit a board wipe off of Thassa's Intervention. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, that's gonna put us down to 7, and let's see how they decide to do this. That's gonna be an extra goblin. That's going to be. Let's see if anybody else is swinging in. That's going to be 4, 6. Oh, goodness. I don't think there's any way that we can stop this. So, the only thing, and I don't think I have it in here, is if we were maybe to get lucky with the black Force of Will card. I can't remember what it is. It was the one that, destroys all the creatures that enter the battlefield the turn that it entered. Let's go for Thassa's Intervention, but it's not in here, unfortunately. Let's just see what's in there, what's available to us. That's going to be X equals 5. So we're going to cash in 5 card draw. Look at the top 5, but that is not going to get it. So we're going to click OK. And then I'm just going to let this go on through. Good game to our opponent. You know, that's, hey, aggro's supposed to beat control. That's one of those, if they can get the board flooded very quickly, they're going to be able to close it out, and they certainly did. So good game to our opponent. That was a very cool build of Najeela. Very on theme with those warriors. So, yeah. Thrasher Brood, love that card. So you may see Najeela in the future. I don't know. It's always nice to have those little pinging effects. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. As far as our opening hand goes, yes, we will keep on this one. I dig it. We've got a Planeswalker that allows us to get some tokens on the battlefield. We got a little bit of card advantage in Steam Augury, and we've got a great utility piece in the Chain Veil, and of course, mana drain. Love it. Let's lead off with Sunken Hollow. That was going to enter the battlefield tapped, and then anything else, we will pass the turn over to our opponent. Welcome. But yes, welcome to some Nicol Bolas. Hope you're excited for some supervillains today. We've got Nicol Bolas flying. Whenever Nicol Bolas enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Then for a 7-mana activation, exile Nicol Bolas, the Ravager, return to the battlefield transformed under his or her owner's control. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. +2, draw 2 cards. -3, Nicol Bolas deals 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker. You know, that particularly matters if there's a 1/1 goblin you really need to smash into the ground. -4, put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. And then for a -12, if you're still keeping score at home, exile all but the bottom card of target player's library. There we go. My goodness. Okay, let's kick it back over to our side. So, and the Teysa, yes. We need to get our artifacts going, but we'll take this. So, let's lead off with Command Tower and then pass it over to our opponent. Play gets Teysa, Orzhov Scion. And also, Church of Athos. I'll talk about that here in a second. But with Teysa, sacrifice 3 white creatures, exile target creature. Then, whenever another black creature you control dies, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. So, we did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to try out for the supervillain team over at MTGOTraders, head on over there. We're looking for planeswalkers that can walk the multiverse and that have evil intentions, but at the same time give us some really nice card advantage. So if you feel like you fit that bill, hey, head on over to MTGOTraders. Also, let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com/Jolt. If you head over there, that's going to apply the coupon code to their website. You can also search Jolt539 to see some of my cool playmat designs if you want to check those out. And if you do, much obliged. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to contribute to the Patreon, if you want to support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. You can get your name in the credits or get your hand on some promotional token giveaways, whatever that may be, whatever floats your boat. There's a link down in the description below. But main things first, it's officially free time. Let's have some fun. This is going to be Felwar Stone, and I think I kind of like that because that allows us to go for Tezzeret. Yeah, let's do that. Little of a bit of a early play, but we've got a lot of good stuff in here, and if we can just power out a turn 3 Tezzeret, I kind of like that. That sounds pretty good. All right, so we're going to add that 2 mana to our mana pool. Let's go and shock in Blood Crypt. Let's go old Tezzeret. Yes, indeed. 1, 2, 3. Have Tezzeret come down, and I think, yeah, at this point, we're just going to start drawing cards. We could try to create Thopters to get to that 0 ability, but at this point, we just really want to get this stuff going. At the very least, we can go Saheeli, and once we get down Gilded Lotus, that'll kind of count towards those artifacts. But if we can cash in some card draw, that sounds like a pretty good plan. Let's see if our opponent has an extra land. Sorry we had to mana drain the baked potato version of Felwar Stone. But yeah, if you didn't know that, that is a baked potato. Somebody put it in the microwave for like 1,000 years, and that's what came out, so pretty cool. A little behind the lore. Let's go Arid Mesa. Let's crack Arid Mesa. Let's grab ourselves a Volcanic Island. And I guess we just end up going 2 damage to any target. We can go for a +1 if we want to end up popping Blood-Soaked Champion. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze for a second. Let's go for the 0 ability. Yeah, we're just going to cash in some more card. We hit another fetch land. Let's go Steam Augury. I guess we don't technically need to go for Steam Augury just yet. We can jam that during our opponent's turn. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so we're just going to go and pass the turn. Pretty much just going to be going, well, if we end up going Saheeli, yeah, let's do this. So if we end up going Saheeli, that's going to allow us to get a few extra tokens on the battlefield that might end up kind of working towards Tezzeret, getting those servo tokens, and that really kind of keeps us open on something like Steam Augury to get that extra Metalcraft going. But yes, as far as Tezzeret goes, the first time seeing Tezzeret, what are we doing? This is a pretty, it looks like the opponent skipped through their attack step, maybe? I don't know if that was intentional or not, but we'll see. But this is a Smothering Tithe, okay. And then, so we rip into Mana Leak. Yeah, I think we're okay with. Yeah, we're not going to pay for Smothering Tithe. I know that's going to make PJ happy. Let's have Flooded Strand come down. Let's go and crack Flooded Strand. That way we can go for Gilded Lotus, and that'll keep us open on Mana Leak. So let's crack Flooded Strand, and then once that land comes down, we'll be able to go for Gilded Lotus. Yeah, let's grab Underground Sea. Let's go Gilded Lotus. That's going to create an extra servo token for us, and then we're going to be able to go for the 0 ability to cash in a card draw. I guess technically we could -2 on Saheeli if we wanted to, on that servo token. But no, it has Summoning Sickness. I think that's correct. I think it would have Summoning Sickness, and we wouldn't be able to tap it as soon as it came down. So let's go for the 0 ability. Actually, we'll just go and create a Thopter at this point, since we're sitting pretty good. And then anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. But yeah, this is Grixis, not super friends, but super villains, if you want to call it that. What we're trying to do is basically just, get some early planeswalkers out. We have a lot of 3-drop planeswalkers in here, which is really nice. We've got Daretti, we've got the Royal Scions, we've got Dak Faden, Greatest Thief in the Multiverse. And so what we're going to do is kind of roll those out, hopefully force our opponent to kind of spend some of their resources dealing with those particular planeswalkers. And then once we end up going for Nicol Bolas, let's say at this point right now, our opponent's down to 4 cards in the hand. We can go for a very easy Nicol Bolas next turn that's going to force them to discard, and we might even be able to get Nicol Bolas to flip all in the same turn too. But I don't know how much mana we've got, but that's pretty much the game plan. You got your standard Grixis Cube stuff in here, tons of removal, tons of card draw, and of course some wonderful options like the Chainveil. In fact, we can end up going for that next turn, which might help us power out a pretty good chunk of mana. All right, so opponent's going to end up going Necropotence. Yeah, I think we're going to Mana Leak on that. It's going to be triple blue. See if... There we go. That's going to be an extra servo token, which is really going to protect our planeswalkers. And then they did tap down... Oh, they tapped down Mana Confluence for Viscera, or City of Brass for Viscera Seer. So, yeah, we're in a pretty good spot. If they do want to end up swinging with Mirror, we might end up letting it go on through. Because at this point, we'd rather have a few more bodies on the battlefield. That 2 damage might kind of add up. Okay, so they are not going to be swinging in. And that's going to be Impulse, and we'll still let this treasure token go through. Not going to pay for Smothering Tithe. And so that's going to be 3. So we do have Metalcraft online for Tezzeret, so let's go ahead and draw 2 more cards. Well, Jason Ashiok. I'm not going to pay for that. I think we're okay with giving them all the mana in the world at this point right now. Okay, so if we end up going Chainveil, that's going to be... Let's do this. So let's go for the Chainveil. Triple blue, let's get that down. It's going to allow us to get an extra servo token. And then once we go for that activation, we're going to be able to go for a couple extra activations with our actual creatures. Our planeswalkers, which will really power that out. So let's go for the let's go for the 4 mana. Let's draw 2 more cards with Tezzeret. And we'll let them have those Smothering Tide tokens. Let's go for the -2 on Thopter. Choose target. Let's make sure we're sequencing this correctly. So that's going to be Thopter, and that's going to be a copy of Gilded Lotus. And then let's go -2 again on Servo token. And then we're going to make another copy of Gilded Lotus. We've got the land drop for the turn with Scalding Tarn. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total mana. So what we actually can do is end up going for, let's go triple blue and then triple black. That's going to be Ashiok. That's going to be 1 more servo token. And then what we can do on this is we can just start exiling stuff off the top of our opponent's library. We're going to be able to get 2 exiles, 2 off of Ashiok. Let's go for 2 more. Actually, they've got Nether Trader and Messenger. Yeah, we'll just end up going for the +2 again. We grab Phyrexian Rager. Let's finally tap down for Jays. And let's grab, I guess at this point, we'll just go ahead and grab an island because that'll be okay. Let's have Jace come down. That's going to be an extra servo token. Let's go for, I guess at this point, we can always end up -1, but let's just go and start fate sealing our opponent. So let's put the top card of our, look at the top card of our opponent's library. Gonti, yes, we will definitely put that on the bottom of our library. Let's go for the +2 on our opponent again. And then Corpse Knight. Yeah, I think we're okay with Corpse Knight. All right, so that's going to stay on top. Then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. So this is pretty much best case scenario for the deck. You know, we got off to a very early start with Tezzeret. Once we had the Chain Veil come online, that allowed us to go for a couple activations, and also just being able to have double Gilded Lotus, that really helps us out. So you can see how potent the deck can be sometimes when you get different scenarios like this. All right, opponent's going to scoop it up on this one. They could have swung in it a couple times. They would have been able to chip away at Tezzeret, but I still think them missing those combat swings wouldn't have really made a difference. Either way, we're going to be able to get to this point to where we're going to be able to have these Chain Veil activations. Pretty much the only thing that's not, like next turn, we've got +2 for Ashiok. That's going to be 9. That's going to be 11. That's going to be -10. That's going to exile their hand. Then we're going to be almost getting to Jace the following turn. If we wanted to plus up, we'd be kind of working towards that -9 with Tezzeret, and that still doesn't even include the fact that we didn't get down Nicol Bolas. So anyways, good game to our opponent. Enjoyed it. Thanks from huge shout out to them for letting us stick that turn out. It's always fun to kind of hit the Mario star and just kind of go wild with value stuff on the board state. But yeah, anyways, if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.